Hi everyone and welcome to this edition of You and the Law. You and the Law sets out to discuss issues of law affecting everyday living, and we also discuss issues of law in the breaking news. My name is Ekemini. I'm a legal practitioner and I'm always glad to know that you're there keeping me company on this channel. The breaking news in Nigeria today is that 27 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly have defected from the People's Democratic Party (PDP) to the All Progressives Congress, the APC. And this is done just 6 months into their tenure as elected members of the Rivers State House of Assembly, representing their various state constituencies. And they have given division in the PDP as being the reason for their defection. And the questions are there legal consequences to defection? Can the argument on division of the political party, the PDP, avail them? And here are the answers. The answers to these are found in the Constitution. And I'm talking about the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which I want to read from my phone. Why I'm reading it from my phone is so that you can also read it from your phone. You Google, and then you see a copy of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria so that you can, understand this clearly with me. And when you open your Constitution, go to section 109 of that Constitution and then go to sub G. What does it say? Let me read. A person, okay, 109 sub G. What does it say? It says, a member of the House of Assembly shall vacate his seat if G, being a person whose election to the House of Assembly was sponsored by a political party, he becomes a member of another political party before the expiration of the period for which the House was elected. So you can see that section talks about the instances for which someone would lose his seat in the State House of Assembly. And it clearly says that one of the instances is if a person was elected by the PDP, he defects from PDP to APC before the end of his tenure. The Constitution says he has lost his seat. If you turn it the other way, somebody moves from APC to PDP in the course of his tenure in the House of Assembly, it simply means that he has lost his seats. And this is the Constitution. And it uses the word shall. When the Constitution uses the word shall, it means it is mandatory. It means there's nothing you can do about it. You must leave. So this is a legal consequence to what these gentlemen have done in Rivers State, 27 of them. It simply means that they have lost their seats automatically by operation of law. So I just hope that they had looked at all this, the consequence, they had seen through it before embarking on the defection. Because the consequence is that once you defect from one political party to another before the end of your tenure, you lose your seats. Now, there is nothing really new to the law. Therefore, this kind of a thing has happened before, and people have gone to court. And the courts have been very consistent in interpreting this section of the Constitution to say that once you defect, you lose your seat. This is the position of the Supreme Court of Nigeria as I speak. This is also the Supreme Court of the Court of Appeal. So the high courts have no option than to respect the decisions of the Court of Appeal and of the Supreme Court on this subject. So if this matter goes to the High Court in Rivers State, the High Court in Rivers State, by the doctrine of judicial precedence, has no option than to declare the seat vacant. The seats have already become vacant by operation of law. The Speaker has also gone ahead to declare the seats vacant. There's nothing else the court is going to do. What the court will do is to reaffirm the position of the court, the position of the law, the Supreme Court on this. And that position is that once you defect from the seats to another political party, it therefore means you have lost the seats. I just hope that politicians understand this provision of the law. I hope they normally go through it, ask questions before they take this decision to defect from one political party to another. For the gentlemen that have defected in Rivers State, I have said clearly that by operation of the Constitution, they have lost those seats as we speak. They've talked about the issue of division of the PDP, and I ask, where is the division? If there is any division in the Rivers State chapter of the PDP, that is not the division that the law contemplates. If there is division in PDP, it is an exception. That means you can defect and still stay. But the PDP that the law talks about is the PDP at the national. That's where the division at the national will exonerate you from having the consequences of the Constitution applied to you. So remember when McAfee and Alimodu Sheriff were fighting for the soul of the PDP. This one was dragging it with the left hand, this one dragging it with the right hand. At that point, there was clear division at the national body of the PDP, and anybody that defected that time had no consequences visited on him. But as we speak, the PDP at the national is united. Things are going on smoothly there. There is no problem with the leadership of the PDP at the national, and therefore the issue of division, okay, cannot avail the legislators in Rivers State to justify their defection. Their defection is done at the time that there is no division at the national, and that means that their argument about division is not the kind of argument that the courts, that the law contemplates. Yours truly seated here, I've done this kind of matter before. Okay, you remember, if you follow the news very well, you remember when 6 members of the Kwai State House of Assembly defected. When they defected, they went to court and said that the court should stop the State House of Assembly from declaring their seats vacant. And I happened to be counsel for the Assembly. And we argued in the Assembly, cited this section of the Constitution that I'm showing you. And we said, my Lord, there is nothing else you can do than to apply the law the way it is. And the law was applied. And those seats were, affirmed. The declaration of those seats as being vacant seats was affirmed by the trial court. The gentleman moved forward to the Court of Appeal, and the Court of Appeal still affirmed it and said, see, the Constitution is clear that once you defect, you lose your seats. So there's nothing new about this. And I think this, our own, happened some 6 years ago, some 6 or 5 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, about 6 years ago. And that was it. It's reported even in the law reports. It's reported even in Law Pavilion, which is an electronic encyclopedia where you have decisions of the court, in Nigeria being fed into that platform. So anybody can Google it. So it's an established thing that when you defect, you lose your seats. No one goes to war without counting the cost. No one should take a decision without counting the cost. The cost here for any member of the legislature who defects is a very expensive cost because it will cost you your seat by operation of law. I just hope that politicians would try as much as they can to open the Constitution from time to time and then read to see exactly what is there in the Constitution so that when you are taking your decision, you know that you are properly guided. Is that what your constituents sent you to go and do? Did they send you to go and move from one political party to another? I think politicians should weigh these things very well before they take the decisions that will cost them their seats. I do hope you've learned one or two things about the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I remain your friend and host, Kemi Udim. I'm a legal practitioner, and I'm always glad to know that you are here keeping me company on this channel. I encourage you to click the like button so that from time to time you can have notifications coming your way on issues of law affecting everyday living and also issues of law in the breaking news in Nigeria, in Africa, and in other parts of the world. Many thanks. Always my pleasure.